Bremer was hit a little hard, kind of the first couple innings, but kind of turned it on later on, and just guys down towards the end. What did you see change?
Well, he just mixed more, and so the first time to the lineup with a guy like him that's got multiple pitches, you're trying to show your entire hand in the first inning. So primarily pitching off the fastball to both sides until they force you to adjust. If he comes out and throws all 4 pitches in the first inning, and everybody sees it, and you could see there in the 6th where they started to really recognize the slider and spin, and the changeup wasn't quite as effective. So if you show your hand too early, that stuff starts to happen in the 4th and 5th inning. Instead of there in the 6th. So we wanted to make him hit the fastball. Once they established that we're going to be able to do that, it was time to mix more and kind of save 1 or 2 of the off-speed pitches for each time to the lineup. But you can't give up 4 runs in the first 2 innings trying to save a pitch for later. So once that was the case, we made an adjustment and mixed more, and he was able to throw 4 pitches for a strike and then kind of cruise, not cruise, but was in control from there.
Did you feel this was your best played game of the season between the pitching, the 16 strikeouts, the way your offense got it going, and the fielding, given the quality of opponent? It's only the 2nd time you've allowed less than 2 runs this season. So was it your most
I would say it
game?
was certainly one of the best games that we played. We've played well multiple times, but today in conference against a really good opponent, to do what we did was terrific. And we've gotten better. There for about the last week or 10 days, I think we lost like 5 2-run or less games, and so you could see us kind of inching towards it. And today we were really good in all phases of the game. And when you put it all together, you have an outcome like that. So yeah, I would say it was one of our better games of the year, certainly.
Ty Bothwell seems to be doing at least one thing he did really well last year, which was, oddly enough, throwing fastballs both high and low in the zone. Is that? I mean, I thought I'd heard that's kind of what it was, and that's what we seem to see today.
It is like his fastball rides up, and so he's, as odd as it sounds, he's aiming low to get it to ride up, because if he aims middle or up, it rides really up, and so sometimes he gets on top and it stays down, and then sometimes it kind of rides up. So you just kind of have to play the miss a little bit, and then the miss ends up being where he's effective at. And there towards the end, he just got too warm side, right? So it's not riding on the plate, it's off the plate, and I kind of lost the feel for it. But yeah, you kind of have to tell the catcher, make sure like we're set up down and away, but it's going to ride up, and hopefully that's what allows the swing and misses. And he did that for several guys, and we were able to utilize it to his strength.
And then with little 5, the crowd was obviously down, but I mean, was it nice to have like a full crowd on a beautiful day for the first time in a couple of years?
Yeah, that's been a really nice. It's been a really nice piece of this year. We've had awesome crowds and great support throughout the entirety of the season, and obviously today is 80 degrees and sunny and a beautiful day, and we had a great crowd again. And the boys really appreciate that. They appreciate the support. They're playing their hearts out. It's a great group of tough kids that just keep showing up every day and competing. You have injuries and you have different things that go along with it, but those guys just keep showing up. I love the group. I love this team, and mostly because of who they are inside. They're tough and competitive, and they love Indiana. And I think it shows in the way that they play. And it's great to have a crowd here to support those guys in their efforts.
You've talked about your pitchers obviously being shell-shocked a lot early in the season. It seems like you're finally, with Bothwell, with Holderfield, with Tucker, you're finally getting a few reliable arms out of the bullpen as the year goes on. Yeah. There's still a few guys struggling, but I mean, you've got 3 or 4 guys you can now count on more out of the pen. What's been the change?
It's just getting back in, and playing normal college baseball again. You got to get on the field. You got to pitch. You look at Luke Hayden from earlier in the year to what he did, this past midweek, and you watch these guys growing up. They're growing up before your eyes, and so it just takes time. It's an emotional game. It's a different game than they've experienced. It just takes time for those guys to grow up and mature, and they're getting a lot better, and they keep working hard, and so they will. So I'm very proud of them, and we're getting a lot better on the mound for sure.
After Whalen hit that triple, and they had a change, they had a timeout. You actually yourself came out. Not something I've seen very often. What was going through your mind then? What did you tell him?
To which one now? I'm sorry.
Whalen, when he got that triple right before he stole home.
Yeah.
You actually came out yourself to congratulate him.
It was just a big time play from a big time player. I mean, he was having a great day. For the first pitch of the game, he slams into the wall in center, steals extra bases from there. He's got 4 hits. Go another add-on run there, 2 outs, and you have to celebrate those guys, and they have to know that you see all the work they put in, and celebrate those guys in person. And I'm not a super flamboyant guy. I know that. But in that moment, I just was so proud of him and happy for him. And I mean, he's the leader. I mean, he's a heart and soul guy. And I wanted him to know in that moment how proud I was of him and his toughness and and to tell him to steal home. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Good deal.
Max Johnson showed some plus defense today.
Yeah.
Plays for the Packers.
Yeah, Max, we thought we were going to redshirt Max. Max had injuries throughout the fall and the winter and missed most of the year, but he was an elite defender in high school, and you're seeing it. I mean, that's why he was one of the first guys that we recruited when we got to Indiana 3 years ago, and he's just a true shortstop. A true shortstop is going to play on the left side for his career here and into the future, hopefully in professional baseball. But he's an elite defender, got great tempo and pace. He's a great thrower. He'll get bigger and stronger and better offensively, but he can really play defense, and he's shown it. I mean, Max probably saved 2 or 3 runs today at shortstop. Those plays up the middle, the ball slides through, guy scores, guy goes first to third, he makes that play there in the next inning. And those are critical plays. They're game-changing plays, and Max has that kind of defensive ability, and I was just really proud of him. We're happy for him.
Take 2 more.
You had some very key hits, and especially the big inning where you scored the 5 runs.
Yeah.
And that's something that you haven't seen a ton of from this team.
Yeah.
Is there something different, or is it just happened to connect on this particular inning?
No, I think it's you're right. Our batting average with the bases loaded was like 200 coming into the weekend. I think it's a youthfulness where you have primary freshmen and sophomores in there, and they get in those moments, and they want to do it so bad that sometimes you get away from your approach, and sometimes you try to do too much, and like every hit has to be to your pull side to have success. And Josh in that moment, Josh thinks to a breaking ball, has a 50-50 ball go against him, and then gets back to his approach away with 2 strikes, gets a fastball off the plate away and stays on and shoots in the gap. It's just a maturation process, and you're right. Like, we've had opportunities to score in multiples like that, especially when there's an error or a walk, and we have to continue to push through and not get too excited, try to do too much, and just stick with it. And we did a better job of that, and you can see him growing throughout, just at bats and experience and being there before and slowing your heartbeat down, all those kind of things, and did a great job. That was a really special. It really was just like a quintessential Josh Bine, where it's like he's just such a tough kid. At 0-2, he gets back to his approach, stays on it, uses the whole field, and a huge hit. Obviously broke the game open at that point early. Awesome.
Great.
Thanks.